Welcome to Two Guys in a Wrestling Podcast. We are live in the only building big enough to hold the third edition of Two Guys in a Wrestling Podcast. Joe, how you doing?
All right. It's all right. that's about the gist of it right there.
It's all right. Just all right.
Yeah.
I mean, Stomping Ground just happened. What do you think of the event?
I actually got to say that for a WWE event, it was actually better than I would have expected, to be totally honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I walked into it with absolutely no expectations, and got to say I was impressed. I mean, for the most part. The Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, to me, the character, she's a little, I mean, I know she's trying to do the heelish thing, but it's just not working to me.
No, it's really not. But, they're trying to keep the storyline going with what's going to happen at Extreme Rules.
And I got to say, her and Becky had a decent match. It was an okay match for, a women's title and an opening and all of that. It was a decent match. I did skip the Cruiserweight because
no one really cares.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even going to.
I mean, Drew Gulak won the title.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's going to make 205 Live great again.
No. In order for him to make it great again, it would have had to have been great once.
Good point.
and
it was great in late 97.
Yeah, when they had the Cruiserweight division, when it was like first brought in with WCW and all of that, and they had like, Juventud Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Psychosis, Chavo Guerrero Jr. and all of that. Then
Chavo had the pony. I mean,
I know. Well, I mean, think about his uncle Hector, one of the best. I guess you'd say the high flyers technically, because back in the time there wasn't really no high flyers. He was one of the greatest, and he's what was it, Lasertron 2000 or something like that?
I guess I don't remember.
Yeah, they had it.
It's before my time, pal.
Dusty Rhodes actually booked him as like this robot. Like he actually came out to the. You're probably too young to remember the. Laser tag.
Really? He came
out with one of these laser tag vests on.
Oh my god.
And they called him like Laser.
I gotta look that up now.
Go for it. Honest to God, I think his name was Lasertron 2000 or something like that. This was back in the
there was so many 2000s. There was like Midnight Express 2000. That's
the way they always kind of did.
There was that one group, I forgot what it was called.
Didn't they do a Legion of Doom 2000?
Yeah, they did that. Part of the Hindsight Club.
Yeah.
NWO 2000.
They say that's the kiss of death in anything with pro wrestling. You put in the word new or number with it, you're done. And, after that, there's no coming back.
The new Blackjacks.
Yeah.
All right, so we talked about the Becky Lynch match. What did you think of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the New Day?
I really like that. They had a really good back and forth tag match where they had Big E get eliminated early. Woods just got beat. That gave all sorts of heat to Zayn.
Woods got Owens. The heat in the majority of this match,
and they just beat the crap out of him. It just over and over. It was like how many? I think it started off with they ran and hit Big E, and then started just super kicking the crap out of him. And they had him just.
Yeah, and it was probably 4 or 5 pinfalls after that.
Yeah, and then finally, that was an old school tag match. I mean, just bluntly, that's all it was to it. It was an old school tag match. The smaller guy got the crap kicked out of him. Xavier Woods sold like $1 million just in there.
And then the hot tag, the big save.
Yeah, hot tag. Big E comes in. Big E, the big guy, he just comes in. He starts overpowering everybody. He starts throwing them around. He did what he does. He did the big move, the spear through the rope, which I'm glad to see finally worked because, I mean, for 2-3 years he's been trying to do that move, and he always misses.
About kills himself in the process.
Yeah. But, he did, and like I said...
Because, that move just looks disgusting to me. Because the way he lands it reminds me eerily of what happened to Lita back in 2003 when she did that swan dive and broke her neck.
Oh, yeah. He definitely. I'm surprised he hasn't done some serious damage to himself before because he misses quite frequently. Like I said,
he misses it, and also whenever he connects, it just looks like he eats it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's no protection with him landing. That's what I gotta say.
Okay, this one surprised me: Ricochet and Samoa Joe.
Okay, I want to say right now, I'm a huge fan of Samoa Joe. I loved. He's one of the few guys.
But you actually picked the winner of this match.
Yeah, I did. A lot of people, and I got to say this: I did pick the winner, but I originally said I thought it would probably be by disqualification. I thought Joe was going to lose it.
Yeah, I didn't think that Ricochet would have won clean.
Yeah, and I didn't think they put the belt on him, but I really hadn't seen a lot of Ricochet. I'm going to say that I had not seen a lot of Ricochet. I've heard some things about him, some good, some bad. First off, he's a lot bigger than I was given the impression he was. I mean, I'm thinking he's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of like Rey Mysterio going in. I'm thinking he's going to be, mid 5 foot, 190 pounds.
But no, he's a lot bigger.
Yeah, he's like a good
6
guy.
foot. I think he's like 6 foot, ain't he?
I'm not sure. But
he's a little bit taller than Rey.
He was actually like maybe an inch shorter than Joe. They were pretty well matched up. And he does have a build. He's got you can tell he's got some muscle to him. And he looked, when he was coming down the ramp, even though he was doing the theatrics of his entrance, the hand in the air and all of that, he looked like he was ready for a fight. And when he got into that ring, I got to give all praises to this guy for his first impression on him. I mean, I've seen him in a couple other matches, but it's always been like tag matches or triple threat.
Or ladder matches or whatever.
Oh, no, I actually haven't even seen him in a ladder match. I've only seen him in like...
well, he was in a ladder match at his NXT TakeOver debut.
Yeah, I ended up missing that one.
Yeah.
But because I am a fan of NXT, but I ended up missing that. He was for the
North American
title?
Yeah, the Adam Cole one, actually.
Yeah. So, I'm like, okay, this... I'm walking in with little expectations from him, and he blew it away. That to me actually was match of the night.
Oh yeah.
For one thing, I hate to get on that the bus or the soapbox and say it's the old school thing. That man looked like every punch, every kick, everything Samoa Joe did to him looked like it killed him.
Yeah, I mean he sold. I mean that backflip he did whenever Joe caught his foot.
Yeah. My favorite was the release. I think it was a release belly to back suplex.
Yeah,
and he hit so hard and flips up back onto his feet, and Joe does the bounce off the rope clothesline, and he's doing like cartwheels in the air. Bam!
Ricochet is good at selling.
Yeah, when he
and what did you think about the Bullet Club possibly reforming in AWE?
It would be. I'm a fan of Gallows and Anderson.
Well, I mean, there was a backstage segment after that match.
Yeah, and they're hinting at it again from Raw the Monday after. So, WWE has really great tag teams right now, and I'm a fan of tag.
But again, Vince ain't gonna go with it because he looks at it like it's the old NWA because that's how the NWA was built, tag team wrestling.
Yeah, but I mean, they've got I think the gimmick for War Machine's a little goofy. Was the Viking Raiders? Yeah,
they were called the Viking Experience.
The Viking Experience. Now they're the Viking Raiders.
Yeah,
it's a little.
They go from being War Machine in Ring of Honor to War Raiders. Then they go from War Raiders.
Weren't they War Raiders in NXT?
Yeah, they go from War Machine in Ring of Honor to War Raiders in NXT. Then Viking Experience, and now whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, the Viking Raiders. And I thought that was a little goofy, a little silly for that team. I think the way that, Gallows and Anderson doing the freaking No Way Jose Congo line, and it was like, what?
What do you think of the 24/7 championship?
It's a good comedy piece to throw in the middle of the...
But you have to admit, it's probably the pearl right now in AWE. It's probably the only thing that's really keeping it interesting. And that's sad when you think about it.
Honestly, not to me.
I mean, to me, honestly, like the whole R-Truth running around with the belt from all these guys wanting to chase him for it, and then locking himself in a trunk.
Yeah, I think like I said,
that's kind of hilarious when you think about it. Yeah,
but that's about it to me. I mean, like I did think it was kind of funny with him and Carmella. This is going into Monday to Raw. He's like walking out to the ring and staring, and she's like constantly looking, and is like, I've talked. The clause is on hold right now, so you can come in and do the interview.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of, then he's like, oh, okay. And I'm a huge fan of Ron Killings. I love him. He has been a great performer the entire time. Back TNA, all of that, even K-Quick.
Yeah. They try not to mention K-Quick.
Yeah. But, I just kind of.
So technically, he He's an 11-time 24/7 champion. You want to know how? Because as K Quick, he won the hardcore title like twice.
No, that's true. And that was under the 24/7 clause.
Exactly. So technically, he's an 11-time 24/7 champion.
But, I'm looking at who they got chasing him.
It's a bunch of mid-card guys.
But the thing of it is, these are mid-card guys that probably shouldn't be mid-card. I mean, they've got
EC3.
EC3, I think they need to, honest to God, he's got the talent to make it, but he's got to be repackaged. For one thing, the EC3 gimmick does not make any sense in WWE because there's no Dixie Carter.
Exactly. And
Ethan Carter III can't exist without Dixie Carter.
And you have Eric Young. You have No Way Jose, who,
he's a joke character, but he's not bad in the ring.
Yeah. Who else has been chasing him?
Bobby Roode.
Why?
And that's it right there. Bobby Roode, honestly, is...
Bobby Roode deserves a lot more than that.
And I'll go right at that. Roode's basically the heir apparent to Ric Flair.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. But here's the thing. Not in the WWE's eyes. In the WWE's eyes, the heir apparent to Ric Flair is Charlotte. They want Charlotte to...
Well, I'm not talking like the clear... He's got the right look. He's got the right build. He's in ring. He's second to pretty much none. And he plays the great, arrogant heel.
Oh, definitely.
I think it was Jim Cornette that put it this way. Basically the way a heel works is to make you hate them so bad that you're willing to pay money to watch somebody kick their ass because you can't do it yourself.
Basically.
And basically that's exactly what Bobby Roode made a career off of.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him back with Beer Money and all of that in it. And TNA, he was annoying. Even when he was part of Team Canada.
Mm-hmm.
That was
okay. So back to the pay-per-view. Yeah. We have the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Heavy Machinery against Daniel Bryan and Rowan.
Okay.
Yeah, took it.
Let's talk about Heavy Machinery for a minute.
God.
They need to go away.
Why?
I cannot stand that group. They are two 80s.
That's the whole point. 80s. That's the whole point, I think.
They are too bad. They are WWE or WWF at that time, 1986.
Yeah.
I mean, Otis or whatever the hell the fat guy's name is.
Otis.
That guy needs to go away. Because, I mean,
they remind me of the Bushwhackers.
You look at the way they do Heavy Machinery. You look at the way they do, I just saw this team, I think it was on Raw. But anyway, they can play the fat guy because that guy's got some strength. He's got some power. When I saw him catch Eric Rowan and not even stagger, just dead waiting, boom, caught him like he was catching a pillow. That guy's got some potential.
I mean, he's a former... they're both former amateur wrestlers.
But as long as he's doing his jiggling around the ring and all of this crap, he's never...
And like Daniel Bryan said in his promo, they are former amateur wrestlers and they're being forced to play the comedy.
Yeah.
And that's not right.
No. That's what I'm saying. And when I'm saying, I'm saying go away, I'm not being this is... No, they need to go away, get them off TV for 2 or 3 months, repackage them.
What they need to do, in my opinion, is that they need to find a way to turn them heel, because the crowd booed the crap out of them. But you have to think they were also in Daniel Bryan's home state.
Yeah, and Bryan himself is never really going to get booed.
No, like in the building you could hear.
Oh yeah,
people cheered him.
Oh yeah, and that happened. I happened Raw too. It's whenever he gets, that's just what it is. Of course, there again, we're going back into look at the fact that right now on Raw, I guess is the one. It's got Revival. It's got the Gallows and Anderson.
The Club.
It's got it's got War Machine. The tag team roster right now is probably better than it has ever been in wrestling.
And that's saying a lot.
Company. Yeah,
that's saying a whole lot. So now we have Bayley versus Alexa Bliss. You're just mad because I said what was going to happen.
Well, no, that match was entirely too predictable, and I'm sorry to say this, but I'm not a Bayley fan, And other than Alexa Bliss's looks, not really an Alexa Bliss fan.
Like, I had a feeling that Nikki was going to somehow interfere and it was going to backfire. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler. That was a good little cage match.
Yeah, it was a decent cage match.
It wasn't to the annals of like Brett and Owen from SummerSlam.
It's not going to go down in history as the greatest match ever happened, but it.
And then Kofi's like, I want to play leapfrog.
When he jumped out the second rope over Bryan, I got to say that was impressive.
You mean over Ziggler?
Or over Ziggler, yeah.
Like he's like, I want to play leapfrog.
Yeah, that was impressive. Actually, I did not.
I for real thought that he ate it though, the way he landed. I for real thought he hurt himself in the process.
I really, for it being, it showed desperation. It showed that he was willing to do anything to keep his title.
Let's just hope that they don't mess it up and put the belt on somebody else that don't really deserve it.
No, and I'm sure that'll happen at some point because that's basically the WWE signature move.
Okay, and now we have the cluster that is Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin, which would become a no count out or disqualification match for the Universal Championship, and Lacey Evans as the guest referee.
Okay, I'm gonna say something that's gonna get a lot of people going, huh? Because Lacey Evans as the guest referee was genius.
It worked, yes.
It didn't work. It was genius.
I think the reason why it worked, though, for me at least, is because it continues the Becky Lynch and Lacey storyline.
Well, see, you've got two different things. You got especially knowing now what's coming up at Extreme Rules, which I love the idea of that match. Period. I love that. But you've got it continuing the feud between Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans. It's putting a little extra into it. It set up the match for Extreme Rules, which I love the stipulation of, if we win, you never get to challenge us again. If you win, we lose the titles. I like that idea. That throws a different...
It's a winner-take-all kind of thing.
It's a different prospect. But it also continued something else. Because remember, all of this build-up, because he's been going to everyone he talked to about... everyone Baron Corbin talked to about being a special referee, got beaten up with the chair by Seth. So you had him pull in, first off, this person that has a problem with Seth's girlfriend.
And they actually alluded to it on commentary.
That's something I'm going to talk about here in a second. So you've got a girl that's got a problem with, or you got someone that's got a problem with him. She's going to go in Baron Corbin's favor. That's going to be automatic. And you got someone he won't hit.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what she does. It doesn't matter that she slow counts him. It doesn't matter if she fast counts for Corbin.
Or low blows him.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He would not put his hands on her. That's what made it genius. You had the feud. They worked with it. You had it where, he wouldn't hit her. He wouldn't do it. Even when she hit him, he would still stand right there because, he was showing he's the good guy. He's not going to hit the woman and all of this, That was, like I said, it was genius. Whoever came up with that was absolutely the perfect referee.
Exactly.
I didn't expect it at all.
No one, because I think if my pick would have happened where it would have been Paul Heyman, people would have expected Brock to cash in.
Yeah. Well, see, I thought that, and I also we were when we did the pick on this, we picked two different people, and I picked Lashley because I thought, okay, this guy, they've got a little bit something with Corbin in the past, and I'm thinking that, or Heyman. The reason I thought Heyman is because they were really pushing this, Brock can come here. Brock can be here at any time.
I think the
anywhere.
reason why they went against the idea of having Heyman is because they want Brock. They want the Brock cash in, if he ever does do the cash in, to be a big surprise.
Yeah, well, see, that's what I'm saying. I thought they would play off that more.
And
but like I said, knowing now that they were setting up for the Extreme Rules mixed tag match, winner take all, it made even more sense.
Yeah.
And like I said, when I remember you were talking here like Lacey Evans, and I'm like, why did they even bother? Why her? That makes no sense.
And then looking back in hindsight, it makes sense.
It makes perfect sense, and it's actually, like I said, it was a genius move. That was a great move.
Like I said, now it's leading into Extreme Rules. Now you have the intergender match where it's winner take all.
Yeah. Mixed tag match.
Is it mixed tag or is it intergender?
Mixed.
Okay, so it's mixed.
Yeah.
Mixed tag where you have Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. If Rollins and Becky lose, they lose their titles.
Yeah. It's winner take all. And, of course, like we were talking about, the stipulation is also if Corbin and Lacey lose, then
they don't get title shots.
They will not get another title shot.
As long as Seth and Becky are champions.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. Now it makes the championship mean something.
Exactly.
It makes the title actually 100% mean something, and that's been the problem. The championships really haven't mattered, and now it's about time that they finally do.
And see, that's what I was talking about with the Kofi Kingston doing the jump out of the ring. It was like, I got to win. I've got to keep my title. It doesn't matter if I get hurt. It doesn't matter what happens. I've got to do it.
Yeah.
And it showed also like Ziggler how hard he was fighting for it. It actually meant. Because for the longest time, and it's something that really bugs the crap out of me, is the fact that the world title is practically meaningless.
Yeah.
Even when it was held by like AJ Styles, and it's like they just downplay it.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be the biggest title, or one of, now that they made the Universal title, it is supposed to be one of the biggest titles in your company, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then they started doing basically the same with the Universal title. It ended up. Like I said, match of the night was for the United States Championship. That was match of the night, hands down.
Oh yeah, I mean the sell job that Ricochet did in that match was amazing.
Yeah, like I remember there was one punch particular I remember Joe hitting him with, and it was like his eyes rolled back in his head. You saw sweat flying off him, and he just dropped like he'd been knocked out. I was watching this, and I'm like, holy crap, this guy can sell.
Right.
And, and then it was barely getting, he started speed and boom, move. He barely got the victory on him. I'm hoping they do that match again. I can't wait to see that one again. I know Joe will go for it. I know there'll be a return match.
And it's probably going to be at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Assuming Ricochet's still champion.
I don't see them taking it off of him anytime soon.
You never know.
Yeah.
You said the same thing about Samoa Joe.
Well, Joe, I don't think they intended him to keep it.
It was just a placeholder, I think.
I think the feud was going to be Joe and Mysterio, and that's why Ricochet took. Let's face it, if you're looking at Rey Mysterio, who is the closest in the WWE right now to Mysterio move-wise?
Ricochet.
Exactly. He replaced Mysterio in the feud. Because Mysterio is legitimately injured.
Yeah.
His shoulder separated.
Yeah.
So he's got to have surgery. He's
going to be out for probably about 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, they knew that. So I'm thinking that's why it was put back on Joe. They started up the feud with Ricochet. So now the stuff that was planned for Joe and Mysterio will just be Joe and Ricochet instead.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they're going to go with that.
So, our last show, I got a little bit of heat.
Yeah, I guess we should go into that, and the fact that you got heat for something I said, and that's awesome.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I offended people.
No, he's sorry if I offended people.
Well, you offended them, but I get the heat for it, which makes no sense to me. Like, I just said Lieutenant Dan one time, and this dude's gonna go off on a tangent and text you this and say, I don't like the fact that Michael said this about the dude with no legs. Look, it's not my fault that the dude walked up to the curb and wanted to kill himself by jumping off. Well, he nubbed up to the curb, excuse me.
Like you said, I did go a little bit heavy. And
you really did. And I get the heat for it, man. I hate you and MJF now for doing that.
Let's talk about, I agree with, or I guess we'll give a little bit of a recap. Basically, what I pointed out is during the AEW, what was it, buy-in?
It was the buy-in Battle Royal.
There is a man. What's his name?
Dustin Thomas.
Dustin Thomas. That's right. Now, first off, I want to go out and say that this guy living his dream, being in a pro wrestling group and all, and
I mean, I get that, but still, he's got no legs.
No legs. That's incredible. But the fact that a no-legged man is in a battle royal with guys that are 300 pounds and over twice his size, because let's face it, literally they cut him off at the knee. and he barely comes up to theirs. So,
it's you saying that, I'm going to get the heat for it now.
Probably. But like I said, I applaud him, and I think it is great that he has done this. He was doing some impressive stuff, but again, I will stand by what I said. Where he was at in the match
did not make sense.
No sense.
And that's the only thing that I agree to. And like everyone was blowing me up saying, "Oh, well, I'm offended." Dude, get over it. Dude, our president offends you. Get over it.
We had several people saying that it was actually, like I said, for whatever reason, however it worked, and I still can't figure this out. It was more directed at Mike than me, and I'm the one that actually said it.
Exactly.
And it's like I did have somebody text me and say it, and we're actually going to have him on.
Yeah, we actually are.
Talk about handicapped people in pro wrestling, and that's going to be something that we look forward to. But then we got other people that are like commenting and sending Mike messages like, I can't believe you said. Okay, first off, really what all I said was
like, and remember, here's the thing. As soon as I posted that I had heat on the podcast, like 7 or like 5 or 10 people like commented like, who's starting stuff with you now? Who do you have heat with now?
And then when they found out that it was apparently about a no-legged guy,
they started laughing.
Now, and I don't mean to put this to try to make more of a joke of it or anything like that. But first off, what I did was basically repeat, and if anyone who's listening, that MJF did a great spot with him at the beginning of the Battle Royal, which a great spot in this Battle Royal was few and far between.
And MJF was in most of it.
I think he was pretty much in all of them. But he goes running into the corner, and he starts stomping the guy with no legs. I mean, they're talking about how inspirational he is, how this and that. And MJF is just stomping the crap out of him going, I'm sorry, Lieutenant Dan, you don't measure up.
Like, I have a question, like a legit question. How did he get to the ring? Did someone carry him? I'm just wondering.
Probably in this situation, yeah. I would think just off of
like,
time
we worked out the perfect entrance for him.
No, there again, it wasn't we, it was me.
I'll take full. I kind of put input in on this one.
Yeah.
The entrance is we get a big 6'10" Samoan guy with a backpack. Okay, he walks out, and you're thinking, oh, right. Yeah. He turns around, and the little dude with no legs just hops out.
That was my idea for his entrance. And like I said,
that would work though.
I take full responsibility. Well, it'd be a gimmick for him.
Oh, definitely. I mean, more than he already is. And would that count as a 450 splash? I mean, cause he's in half.
Well, no, see, I actually watched the rotations on it. I actually watched that match twice. Believe it or not, I actually sat through that damn match twice.
Why?
But I don't know. I'm a glutton for punishment. I like to torture myself. And his 450 splash is more like a 385. He does not get the full rotation.
Now is that a reason? Now is that just a jab at his?
No, he didn't get full rotations.
He is vertically challenged, literally.
Yeah, no, he didn't get the full rotations.
But how can you? But okay. Now that we bash on him a little bit, let's give him some props. I mean, come on, he pulled a 619 off with nubs.
That's what I'm saying. This guy, he does do great, for what he has, for his capabilities, and he is amazing. It is incredible to see this, but it goes back to what I've said about a bunch of other people. We're talking Orange Julius or whatever the hell this guy's name is.
Orange Cassidy, and I sent you a video, by the way.
Actually, that'll be our match of the week, which will be in here shortly. So Orange Julius was doing this, and that was like, there are spots in it for this kind of content, this kind of jokes, these kind of things. And simply put, it's like, oh crap. Okay. Let's say, what was his name? Dustin Thomas?
Yeah.
Okay. So Dustin Thomas, let's give him the way he would have worked. Let's go back in time to two of my favorite teams. We got the Midnight Express versus the Rock and Roll Express. And let's say at some point that they had this match where Jim Cornette if the Midnight lost, Jim Cornette had to get in the ring, and let's say they say like, okay, we're so confident any fan can get a hold of you, and they pull him out. Imagine Jim Cornette making fun of this guy. He's going to be giving him all sorts of crap. He's going to be making the jokes about the no-legged man in the ass-kicking contest and all of this stuff.
Well, Jim Cornette's already made fun of him enough on this freaking podcast.
He hadn't done too bad. He didn't go as bad as me.
Oh, good God.
But, so now, you can, like I said, imagine the fans sitting there listening to Cornette just rail this guy, make all kinds of fun of him, and then all of a sudden this guy starts doing flips, and he takes him down, and he does a 619, and he does a 450 splash and all. The crowd would have been nuts. That's
definitely. They would have been. Dude, they went a bit crazy for that.
But in a 21-man battle royal for the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, he literally was a no-legged man in an ass-kicking contest.
Basically.
So he made no sense for the match. And that made him the center of ridicule. Sort of.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, at the same time, it's like, well, we're going to have to wait for that match of the week because I can't find that video right now.
No, you can just, okay.
Or unless you want to put it up on your messenger that I sent to you.
Yeah, I was about to say I could do that.
Well, anyways. So, yeah, I want to apologize to that person. I'm sorry if I offended you, but I was just saying he really didn't belong in that battle royal. I mean, come on.
And I repeatedly said that.
I mean, come on. He was taller than, the rope was taller than he was. So, I'm supposed to sit here and believe that a dude with no legs can challenge for the AEW championship. I mean, yeah, I know wrestling's, a work, but at the same time, if it's believable and it's supposed to be like that, why would you literally... how could you honestly, and as a fan, sit there and say, okay, this guy's going to be a future AEW World Champion? It's not going to happen.
Well, that's exactly what I was talking about we were actually talking about earlier with the fact that, like with the WWE, they downplayed their titles to the point that their titles were almost irrelevant.
And that's why I'm actually happy that Adam Page won that Battle Royal. I mean, I would rather it be Adam Page than Jungle Boy or Jimmy Havoc or
what was the numbnut that had the cigarette stapled to his forehead?
Oh, the guy that Dean Ambrose is going to kill at Fyter Fest, Joey Janela.
Yeah, he's about pointless as well. And that's something I've really had a problem with that whole pay-per-view, or not really, but that match of the pay-per-view. Okay,
that's the only match that I'm really looking forward to.
This is the Battle Royal to help determine who could be your first World Heavyweight Champion. You got Butt Floss guy, whatever in the hell his name is, the little 80-pound guy that got his leg broke a while back.
Oh, Marco Stunt.
You got the orange guy. You got Jungle Boy. You got, Lieutenant Dan.
And you have fucking, like, Brian Pillman in there. Brian Pillman, that's believable. Brian Pillman's a really good talent.
Yeah, he's still getting started. At least he has name recognition.
Yeah.
Off of who his father was. And
Luchasaurus, like, what? Just because you have a master's degree, dude, you're wearing a freaking dinosaur mask. You're doing your gimmick from Lucha Libre, from Lucha Underground, which, by the way, is now defunct. It's not coming back anytime soon.
Well, no, and from what little bit I saw about it, it's good riddance.
Yeah.
It was completely worthless to me.
It gave us some good moments. It gave us, the Seto Miedo match with Pentagon and Vampiro. By the way, if you have not seen that, it's on YouTube. Or you can go on Netflix.com and look up Lucha Underground Season 1.
It's like I said, the whole setup, Well, I didn't like it.
I liked it in the beginning. I did. It was cool. It was something different. But by season 3 and 4, it was like, why?
And another one that I'll be the first to admit this. If you want to say it's old fashioned or whatever, I don't care. I don't like intergender matches. I do not think you should have a heavyweight. Okay, wrestling is scripted. We're going to go right out and say, we know this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mark it out and say it's a work or any of that. It's scripted television. No different than any other scripted television.
Yeah.
The fact of it is, if you were watching The Expendables,
right,
you don't want to see the green screen with the explosions and stuff like that. You don't,
because that would just diminish the film.
When you have a 260-pound guy chiseled, well, let's use Luchasaurus for an example. That dude is like 6'6", probably close to 300 pounds. He is chiseled. He looks like he could whoop an ass or two if he needed to.
Just take off the mask.
And then you have him wrestle a girl that's 140 pounds. And they have a competitive match together.
Kind of like Kenny and that Japanese 9-year-old girl.
No, we're not even going to get into that because I'm still too filtered to get into that. For one thing, there is no reason in the world a grown-ass man should be carrying around a 9-year-old girl spread eagle in front of his crotch.
That's very true.
That was like
I said, I mean, it's Japan. Japan, they don't give it.
Japan is weird. I know. I accept that fact. I know Japan is extraordinarily weird, and they have extraordinarily weird fetish stuff.
They eat goats.
Yeah, but a lot of places eat goats.
Like name one in America, and do not say West Virginia.
Well, no, but that does remind me. That does remind me of a joke about West Virginia. How do you know a girl's old enough to get married in West Virginia?
How? You
put her in a barrel.
Oh, good God.
If her eyes come above the barrel, she's old enough to get married. If not, you cut the barrel.
That's low.
I'm sure Kenny Omega's like, I'm moving to West Virginia. They let you pick your wife by cutting barrels, and they bet you.
Well, this is brought to you by KFC, and no, Kenny Omega has not worked here.
That's what I was about to say. The next one's going to be, oh boy, do they got chickens? I still honestly can't say why I've decided Kenny Omega is a chick, but I mean, I did.
Like, for real, I wonder if he does that, in his spare time. He goes, pew, 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 I'm a chicken clucker, pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, actually, that's one I thought I would get more crap on.
And you didn't, but I'm the one that gets the crap about Lieutenant Dan. Excuse me, Dustin Thomas. I'm gonna say his name. Because, I mean, let's just face facts. I mean, the dude, he's following his dream. I get that. At the same time, it's like, dude, you have no legs. Just stop.
Well, that's what I was saying. If they put him in a different...
Now, and people will probably say, oh, well, Zach Gowen only had one leg. Yeah, but here's the thing. He had a prosthetic.
Well, he didn't use it in the matches.
I know, but he still had a prosthetic. This dude can't have prosthetics because you want to know, he's a double amputee at his knees. He can't have prosthetics. It won't work.
Thing is, and God knows, they had plenty of room in this card. I mean, the tag matches were complete disasters, and they had quite a few of them.
Well, AEW is going to be built mostly on tag team wrestling.
That would be like building the foundation of your house on Legos.
Well, the problem, I think the reason why they're doing that is because WWE's tag division, let's face facts.
They don't know how to book a tag division. I'll admit that. They do not know how to book a tag division in the WWE, but the problem of it is they don't know how to book a tag match in AEW.
They don't. Because like I said, it goes back to the whole ideology of they don't have a legit boss. You have 3 different VPs that have 3 different ideologies of wrestling.
Well, see, it's not even that. I mean, the matches were stable, but they were too chaotic. It's like I said, they're starting the big, by referee discretion, they've got a 10 count. Well, that one referee's 10 count lasted a minute and a freaking half.
And that was during the Strong Hearts SCU match or the Young Bucks Lucha Brothers?
Actually, that was Young Bucks Lucha Brothers.
And now they're doing a tag team title tournament.
Yeah, it's just not.
And it's kind of funny that the pre-show for Fyter Fest is called the Buy-In.
That's actually what they're doing. I think they're naming all of their pre-shows Buy-In. Because they're really heavily going on that
Las Vegas
the
gambling.
Las Vegas thing, yeah.
But I guess the match on Fyter Fest is going to determine who's going to be in the tag team title tournament would be SCU versus two other teams that I never even heard of.
Yeah, and that's okay. And then, might as well get into this before we get into the match of the week. I'm going to come right out and say this. I'm looking at their cards for the next couple of events they've got coming up. You are a fledgling company. You have had exactly one event that has done little to impress, except for one, maybe two matches.
I would say probably two.
I did like the Strongheart SCU match.
Well, fine.
If they had controlled it better, I think those two teams could have had a really great match.
For me, the two matches that stood out was, of course, Cody and Dustin, and Jericho and Omega.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. So I'll give them three matches. I'll give them three solid matches. So you're a fledgling company. First off, your battle royal for the shot at your world heavyweight champion belt was a joke at best. Then then you go into the actual pay-per-view, and it was at best, except for three matches that were like, okay, this is actually pretty good. And then your next card is the one that they're doing for Fyter Fest, and then what was the other? Fight for the Fallen.
Fight for the Fallen's after that, and then All Out happens in August.
It's like you got one shot to make a first impression, and so far you are doing Kenny Omega's pew 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 because you're really not making a good impression here.
They're really not. I mean, like I said, it goes back to, there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
And with them doing the fact that, with TNT, they said they're going to have an off season. You've got to get your fan base built, and you've got to make sure that when they go away for their off season.
Now AEW is going to be on Wednesdays because they trademarked Wednesday Night Dynamite. So, and the reason why is because they can't go on Tuesdays because of the NBA.
The NBA, and then they don't want to touch Monday because if they try to go, even with Raw's failing ratings, if they tried to go head-to-head with Raw right now,
they would still lose. They would still, because people are so used to watching Raw.
Yeah, you watch Monday Night Raw. That's the thing, so they would
here's the thing.
Get their asses handed to them.
It was the same way in the 90s with WCW. People got so used to watching Raw because Raw came out before Nitro.
But then people started, hey, you know what's happening on here? You gotta remember, before the Monday Night War happened, WCW had been around for a long time. It had some kind of history behind it. Yeah, it had years on television behind it. And you had the division of the two fans. Everyone talks about, the Monday Night War was this, Monday Night War was that. The Monday Night War, straight up, what it was
the last
companies, the two giants in their field, looking at each other and saying, okay, this is it. We're done competing. One of the two of us is going out of business. Let's see what you got. And WWE came out on top.
Yeah. But less, not short WCW for 83 consecutive weeks.
No, basically what that boils down to is Bischoff.
I'm sorry to say it. Bischoff turned WCW around, and then Vince Russo comes in and kills it.
Well, the big thing was...
Sorry, bro.
Bischoff, he had the great idea with the NWO.
He just didn't know how to top it.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't know where to go from there. It was,
the problem is, they had so much success with the NWO, with the Crow version of Sting, that they didn't know how to top it from that point.
Yeah, they didn't know where to go.
I think Bischoff hit his apex in '97, and then 98 it starts to slowly decline a little bit, and then 99, and then 2000 they lose $2.5 million, and then there you go.
Yeah, and that's all it was with it. So we ready to do this match of the week?
Yep, we're ready to do the match of the week, brought to you by Slim Jims.
Not the beef jerky treat that everyone remembers hawked by Macho Man Randy Savage. We're talking about Slim Jim, the crackhead down the street that would like to remind everyone he will do anything for $5, and I do mean anything.
So if you want a blowjob, bro, I'm just saying.
Oh, now we're ready for match of the week.
Match of the week.
And I will let you do the setup because I know nothing about any of these people that are in this match.
Well,
except for Orange, what's his name?
Well, I sent you a match. Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends versus SCU from WrestleCon.
Okay. And we all know my opinion on Orange Cassidy.
But I think this match will change your entire ideology of Orange Cassidy.
Now I got it up here on full screen, and so actually, let me pull it to where I can actually see this thing. Lighten the screen here. There we go. You know, it's not his ability. That's not the problem, because the guy's got a decent ability. He can do stuff. He's good in the ring.
Oh yeah, he is. I
mean, this gimmick that's
now you have Daniels in the ring with Orange Cassidy,
and that's
he tags in Scorpio Sky. Now we're back to Daniels. Here we go. What we got going on here? Little double teamish from the Best Friends.
Yeah, and you know it's
here comes Orange Cassidy, House of Fire, brother.
Yeah, where he walks in and gives Daniels a hug, and the asshole sold it. That to me right there, this is Christopher freaking Daniels, a fallen angel. He's one of the best in-ring performers going on.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. What we got going on here? A little Snap Mary.
Okay, that actually was an actual move.
And now we're gonna have Trent Beretta do his thing.
And he picks his nose during the match.
And what's Trent Beretta? He's getting the fans into it.
Yep, all 25 of them.
Wow. This is not KCW, yo. I'm just saying. And now we have Chucky T doing his thing, a little flippy flip there.
Well, apparently the other guy's move was so important that they didn't bother to show it on camera. And then you have
Orange Cassidy just flops on him, and he gets a 2 count out of that. That's amazing.
That's stupid. I mean, like I said, this is Christopher Daniels. This is a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
TNA.
Oh, he didn't get in?
He didn't get in. He was a former NWA Tag Team Champion.
Okay, Tag Team. All right. So he was a former TNA Champion, which that's...
He never even won a TNA title. He won the X title.
It was only the X? I thought he did have a...
He never had the World title.
Okay. No, it was
Ring of Honor.
There we go.
Okay, really? Oh, he's got the glasses on now.
Yeah, now Christopher Daniels is doing the...
We got the mirror images going on. Yeah. Little slappy slap. Will Daniels retort? The crowd is in such a frenzy right now.
Yeah, they're trying to make sure they don't fall asleep.
And one more from Daniels.
This is just embarrassing.
And a kick from Orange Cassidy. You notice how I'm doing the golf commentary right now?
Yeah, this is the only time the golf commentary would actually fit. So maybe I should go with that too. Now, as Orange Julius and Christopher Daniels continues to put on one of the most embarrassing displays in professional wrestling history since Kenny Omega wrestled the 9-year-old girl or the blow-up doll. I mean, that was a bad breakup for him, I'm sure.
I'm sure it probably was. He probably lost half his video games in that divorce.
Yeah. I mean, when his girlfriend deflated, that had to be a crushing moment. And that's why he went to clucking chickens.
And the old glory low blow.
And at least that was somewhat half speed. I mean,
the old glory low blow. The glass. I think SCU messed up here. About to see angry Orange Julius come out.
I can't believe it.
About to get real.
It looks like half of the 25 crowd left. So
here we go.
12 people.
It's about to get real. Oh, look at the fire! Look at the fire, boy. Does New York have potholes? Probably. Double Hurricane Rana. That's amazing. See?
Okay. That, while yes, it's an athletic move, that's also really stupid. I mean, the Hurricane Rana in itself is a little bit stretchy.
Are we going to see the Orange Julius? That's the new finisher I gave it. I don't know. It's a double Orange Julius with the little whipped cream on top.
Okay, yeah, this guy, this 180-pound whatever he is, just double choke
and
slam.
he goes back to the glasses.
Double choke slam. Christopher Daniels and
he's
the
going
Scorpio Sky.
Yeah, he's going to the top. What's he gonna do from the top rope? Are we gonna see the Julius special with sprinkles and whipped cream? Probably. Here it goes. Oh, he falls.
That was what?
That was the match of the week, brought to you by Slim Jim.
He literally just fell off of the top rope.
Basically. But what'd you think of the comeback, though? Do you like,
Okay, it's like I said, this guy, obviously, he has the ability of doing things in the ring. It's the gimmick that he's using. And, that type of gimmick has been used for years, where you have the simpleton, I guess you'd say.
I wouldn't say that he's being a simpleton. He's just being a sloth.
Well, see, no, I'm not saying. I'm saying the type of gimmick.
Yeah.
Because you do have what was it?
Gallows.
Yeah, Luke Gallows was doing when he was what was it?
Biscuits and gravy.
That's all I can really remember. That is the fact that their entrance song was "Biscuits and Gravy."
They wanted some biscuits and gravy and catering.
So that was about all I could actually remember from.
His name was Festus.
Festus. That's right. It was what?
It was Jesse and Festus.
Jesse and Festus. That's it. And I don't even remember who Jesse was. I don't think he's with WWE.
No, Jesse is actually Terry Bam Bam Gordy's son.
Okay. Yeah, I knew he had some actual connections. But why, he was stuck with biscuits and gravy for the gimmick, and that just kind of...
I wonder how Vince threw that idea to them.
Well,
here's what we're going to do, pal.
Yeah, Vince does pretty much...
Your theme song is going to be biscuits and gravy. It's good shit.
That's pretty much Vince in a nutshell. He basically just looks at you and here's your gimmick. If you don't like it,
no, here's
you're
Vince.
unemployed.
No, here's Vince. You ready? Do my best Vince impression. Mm-hmm. Here's what we're gonna do, pal. Okay, you're gonna be a group of male cheerleaders. Yeah, that's good stuff right there.
And then we have the Spirit Squad, and that's what was it? Kenny Dykstra and Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler was in that group.
Yeah, he was in it. And the only thing I really remember out of the group, other than utter oh my god, are we?
You remember whenever DX said, "I like cocks"?
Yeah,
I really did.
I'm thinking. Remember the guy that used to be his way of pumping up the crowd was doing the dog ass scratch across the ring, where he'd stick his legs up and start skating.
Was that Norman Smiley?
No, that wasn't.
No, Norman Smiley did the big wiggle.
Yeah, he did the big wiggle.
What was the point of that? They charge him up. Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna big wiggle up, brother. Oh yeah.
Wait till John Cena does a big wiggle.
Can you imagine if Hogan did that?
I'm still more worried about John Cena doing that.
Hogan's Hogan's in the middle of hulking up. He's like, I'm gonna big wiggle up, brother. Oh yeah. Yep, here it comes right now.
Wait, if John Cena starts doing the big wiggle, there might be another surprise involved.
Ding!
Especially depending on how at attention he is in that match.
Biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, I can hear it now. John be like, I see you got the biscuits, baby. I'm bringing the gravy.
Vince is in the back going, oh my God, John Cena. Yes.
Well, actually, that's what I'm surprised. They keep on talking about him, but does he even wrestle anymore?
He's talking about retiring.
I know, but he's been talking about that for 85 years
He's
now.
been who, Vince or?
No.
Cena.
Yeah.
Cena's been Cena wants to retire and do what Dwayne does now, which is act. And he's not a very good actor.
Well, I mean, he
most of his movies have been straight to DVD.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
He even makes jokes about that himself. I remember him doing the promos you ever seen 12 rounds? Everybody knows that should have went 1.5.
It should have.
I was like, oh wow, he was nailing himself on that one.
And went more than he was nailing Nikki.
Well, yeah. Well, with all the stuff that happens in the ring, you got to wonder at some point.
Nikki got tired of the 5 moves of doom, brother. I wonder if whenever he has sex with her, if he goes, "You can't see me."
I wonder more if it's like the 5 moves of doom. Okay.
Do the O face.
That that is just not an image anyone needs to have in their head.
John Cena fapping, people. John Cena fapping edition of Two Guys in a Wrestling Podcast. See, we had a Paul Heyman fap edition. Now we have a John Cena fap edition.
Yeah.
What's going to be next? The Vince McMahon Kiss My Ass edition?
Well, actually with that one was the way they wanted to end that. Believe it or not, Mick Foley had pitched it to him.
Really?
He wanted it to be Terry Funk to end that.
Why?
Because when he was good, they were going to like start to make Terry Funk do it, and Terry Funk was going to bite a chunk out of Vince's ass.
That would have been hilarious.
You remember when it was the ECW one night? I think it was One Night Stand.
What's a one night stand? There was two of them. That ECW did at least.
I think this is the one with Cena and
that was the second one. 06.
Cena and RVD.
06.
Because one of the matches was
Terry Funk and Tommy Dreamer against Edge and Mick.
Yeah, it was the build up for that. He wanted Terry Funk to bite Vince's ass.
That would have been hilarious.
And Vince backed out of it.
I would have paid to see that.
And they said that since Vince was also involved with the DX angle, that it would have been too much.
It would have been.
And I can kind of see that too.
But do you remember when DX said, "I love cocks"? I actually really do.
For like what, almost a month straight?
I actually really do. Okay, I like them long and hard and pulsating in my mouth.
Okay, that's getting a little weird.
Just a little bit.
So I guess on that note, before it goes any weirder, we should maybe say...
Before it goes X-rated.
Yeah, that is it for the week. What are we talking about next week? Oh, yeah, more Kenny... Oh, yeah, actually, next week, since we recorded this in weird order and we're going to put it out in proper order, next week we will actually have my thoughts on the Kenny Omega versus the 9-year-old child.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what...
We talked about...
and you're also going to need to re-listen to the apology part of this episode because I forgot I say some things about Lieutenant Dan again.
And I guess I bet $20 I'm going to get heat for it.
And as we already stated, Mike is sorry for any comments I make, and I just don't give a shit. So.
Yeah, I'm the one getting the heat for all this, you guys. Why do you guys send me the hate mail?
So, until next
I'm the
week,
baby face here.
Until next week.
It should have been me.
Where we will make fun of Kenny Omega some more. And
He's clucking chickens right now as we speak.
I don't remember what else we talked about.
We talked about China and Owen. And
oh, yeah, actually we did. That was actually pretty good in the Women's Evolution. We actually had a decent show with that one. Unlike this.
This has got weird.
Yeah, this one's got weird and uncomfortable.
Yeah, because Vince showed up and...
Well, you started. I don't know. I'm starting to wonder if you don't need some privacy in here. You're thinking about Vince and John Cena.
Because Vince showed up and was like, "I own this podcast."
Okay.
This is Two Guys at a Wrestling Podcast signing off.